Hi guys, this is just going to be a quick check-in. And I'm remembering that I'm actually making this for me. Because I want to document what's going to be happening in the next year. Because I know it's possible. I'm just super excited to make a video of 11, 21, 22, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2 next year with this exact video, telling me, you know, how life was a year ago. And so that's really what I'm focusing on. But I want to thank everybody who signed up for my YouTube channel yesterday. I just put out a little request on Facebook that I was seven subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. I thought you could start getting paid on YouTube if you had 1,000 subscribers, but you also need 4,000 watch hours, and I have 2,000. So now I'm going to work on watch hours, but whatever. I know everything's going to happen exactly the way it's supposed to. I have had an extraordinary 24 hours for lots and lots of reasons. And I just want to instill in anybody who is trying to do something that feels impossible that the first thing you have to do is let yourself dream as if it were possible, and then behave as if it were possible. I had a dream one time, and I think, you know, some of you guys have been with me for decades, actually. Chatterbox I started in 1997, and Brave Girls Club I started in 2009. And lots of you guys have been with me since 1997 when I was 25 years old, and started my first company. But I had a dream one time where I was told to go through these red curtains, and I know lots of you have heard this from me before. And I kept asking, and I was told by this buffalo, this talking buffalo, that everything that I could ever desire or that was meant for me was behind this red curtain. And I kept trying to ask this buffalo, like, but what do I have to pay for this, you know? And because I hate being in debt and I like to pay my own way. And the buffalo just kept saying, no, this is already yours. And if you don't, you know, if you don't go in there and utilize it and, you know, enjoy it, then it's just going to stay in there, and no one is ever going to. And I just kept saying, what about, tell me, what does this cost? What are the strings attached? And this buffalo, she just kept saying, it's really yours. It's just time for you to go through this red curtain. And so finally she said, okay, I'll go ask, you know, the boss. And so she went somewhere and came back, and, you know, this was actually a pretty short dream, but so impactful. She came back and she said, okay, so I found out what your payment is, you know, and I said, sweet. And she said, this is not only, you know, how you pay, you know, for what's behind this red curtain, but it's also going to be your life purpose, the most important thing that you'll ever do. And I said, okay, sweet. I'm a hard worker. I can do anything. And she said, here it is. She said, you are to walk as if you are beloved for all the days of your life, and it will change your life, and it will change the lives of everyone around you. And then I woke up, and it felt so important and so profound. But I'm only just now realizing, you know, how profound that really was, because of all the discoveries they're making in neuroscience and things like that, when we behave as if. And so if I were to instill something in you on this day that's valuable, it would be to allow yourself to decide, you know, what you really want, and then to behave as if that's meant for you, because your brain and your body and everything will start to behave as if it's already happened and it's already real. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I also just found, I found a bunch of stuff the last 24 hours. One of the things I found, because I love Joel, you guys know that, I love her music, but I mostly love who she is as a person. I loved her in Ring of Fire when she played June Carter, and I mostly love the lyrics of her music. I think she's got a very unique, beautiful, pure voice, but I love how poetic and profound she is. But what I also found out, listening to a Joe Rogan podcast that was published on October 25th. So go on Spotify and look on October 25th. Best interview I've ever heard in my life. It's 3.5 hours long. So if I were you, I would just clean out your closet and put it on and listen to it. It'll change your life. I've listened to it 3 times now, and I still want to listen to it more. But one of the things I found yesterday is she has this amazing free videos and exercises, and it's called Never Broken, and it's in Mighty Communities, I think is what it's called, but it's called Never Broken. And I fully expected to pay whatever it costs to do it, because after listening to her interview, but it's actually free, and it's got all these amazing neuroscience based meditation and brain rewiring techniques. And so I found that. And then I was really worried about something. I swear our computers can read our mind. I've been worried about something, and it's that, I used to have a couple, several 100,000 followers on social media. And it's been almost, a year and a half since all of that, it was gone. And I'm trying to rebuild it. I mean, here I am, 50 years old, having had an incredible career and worked my butt off, frankly. And I have just yesterday reached 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and it's actually really wonderful to do things from scratch, and I love that. And I have a couple thousand subscribers or likes or whatever, followers on Facebook, and I don't even know Instagram yet because I haven't really been using it because I'm in the middle of writing a book and doing a whole bunch of stuff. But I have some really innovative ideas right now that I want to share. And I have to tell you, the amount of times in my 20s and 30s, mostly my 30s, when I innovated products and I would win awards. Like I won this, used to be called Craft and Hobby Association. I've won the Innovations Award a couple of times, for the most innovative product and things like that. And I have some ideas, and I just don't have enough following right now to put out ideas and not have a bigger company come and, take my idea before I can make it my own. And so I've been worried about that. Like, at what point do I, come out with my ideas, and not get them taken and have people think it was somebody else's idea. And that's the struggle of the creator, is just, when you're not a really good marketer, but you're a really good creator, oftentimes, your intellectual property gets taken and stolen, and before you can ever even, make it yours. And anyway, so I was kind of worried about that a little bit. What I've found, I'm not worried about it anymore, because what I've found is if, most people who are highly creative and prolific will just keep creating more stuff, even when their ideas get, let's say they inspire others and others, take off with them. But I was thinking this, and this is so weird because I went on YouTube and this video popped up from this amazing woman. I think her name is Wendy, and she's in the UK, and she made a video about, when this happens. And so I watched it, and I loved her. Her YouTube channel is called The Unexpected Gypsy. And I'm like, man, I love this woman's spirit. She's incredible. You guys should go subscribe to her channel too. But then I was looking through some of her other videos, and she made a video about a year ago about how to start a new art journal. And so I watched that, and she mentioned me several times in it, and how my work had inspired her to start art journaling therapeutically. And I don't think that was an accident. So I'm not too worried anymore about, some of these things. And I want you to know, like, it's not about money. It's about being able to sustain yourself as an artist. When you work really, really hard, and and you put out everything, all of your creativity, you either have to sell out and partner with somebody who can help you get your stuff out there, or you just have to keep working really, really hard. And because of how my life is with my husband's health, and because of how I am as a free bird, I just can't partner anymore, ever. And so I'm going to be, largely on my own, and I'm the best that way anyway. And so when I say like, I'm worried about my ideas getting taken before I can make a living off of them, it's really about being able to sustain myself as an artist. That's one of the things I loved about Jules' interview with Joe Rogan on October 25th on Spotify. I just keep saying that because I really want you to watch it. She was talking about how she had, at a young age, she had saved $100 million, and she was driving like a Jeep Cherokee or something. And she wanted to keep that money in the bank so that she could have freedom as an artist for the rest of her life. Just create whatever she wanted to create and just not worry about money. And that's really how it is for creators. They just want to create. And in this world we live in, that's getting more and more difficult. And so what I've done, is just trying to pare my expenses down as low as I can so that I have the freedom to create as much as I can create, and not worry about, being able, having to say yes to things you don't want to say yes to just so that you can pay the bills. And I'm so close to being able to do that, and I know I can do it. I have some complicated issues that are fun to solve, but anyway, I feel like I'm scattered and all over the place. But I wanted to just read I'm going to start doing this, reading the things that are inspiring me. This is from a book called One by, I think the guy's name is Kobe or something like that. This did these books, Kobe Yamada, Dan Zadra and Kobe Yamada. And this was written in 2009. Oh my goodness. That's when I started Brave Girls Club. Anyway, he's written a bunch of books, and this one's called One. And I just wanted to read this, Calling All Heroes. Every page of this is good, but we relish news of our heroes, forgetting that we are extraordinary to someone too. I just want you to know that all of us have the ability to be heroes, and we need to do that right now. We just need to be the best we can be. Will tough times pull us together or pull us apart? During difficult times, some say that people will think only of themselves, that it's every man for himself. But is that really the case? In the midst of the mortgage meltdown and financial crisis, this is 2009 when this book was written, so that would have been a year before that. But we're kind of in a times a trillion meltdown as a global community, even bigger than the 2008 mortgage meltdown. Nancy Gibbs of Time magazine wrote that there seems to be another kind of story at large in our land. It's a story of millions of people who believe that problems shared grow smaller, that courage is contagious, that each of us can make a difference in the lives of our neighbors, and that a crisis is an opportunity to pull together instead of pulling apart. So these are some of the things that they wrote down that were actually happening. Someone placed an 18-karat gold diamond ring in the Salvation Army kettle in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Food donations in Paradise, California are up 5-fold. A Santa Clarita, California family took an 83-year-old woman left homeless by wildfires and helped rebuild her life. In Sioux Falls, South Dakota, hotel manager came in a Sioux Falls, South Dakota hotel. A manager came up with a plan to open his doors to 200 homeless people at Christmas. My sister actually did that at her hotel in Boise during the pandemic. Mississippi, which ranks as the poorest state, is also the most generous in charitable giving. I find that's true. You'll hear that in Jules' interview too, where she talks about how people who have been through really hard times are usually the most generous ones because they know what $5, $20 can make all the difference in the world to a person. Maybe as times get worse, we get better. Our pain makes us feel other people's too. Our fear lets us practice valor. We are tense and tender as well. And among the things we can no longer afford are things we never really wanted anyway. I can attest to that. Those who say there are no heroes left in the world just don't know where to look. You can see heroes every day, going in and out of schools, hospitals, homes, and businesses. Heroes are everyday people who have chosen to give a portion of their lives to something bigger than themselves. Heroes light a candle in the dark. They just have a way of brightening our world with a word, an example, a gift, a hand, an idea. We all need heroes. They inspire us to be better versions of ourselves. So then there's questions. Who are your heroes and how do they inspire you? What more could you be doing to encourage, help, support, or inspire those who look up to you? So I just want to tell you, first of all, man, I've had so many people show up for me. I never thought I'd be in the position that I'm in right now. It's for just a lot of things that happened that were out of my control, and then also just a lot of crappy stuff that happened that I'll never understand. But I will, you know, I've always believed that humans are the ones that are going to save the humans. And I'm doing everything I can to save myself and to grow as a person, and I totally am. But I couldn't do it without the angels in my life that show up just consistently. Some of them I know and very well, and they just show up for me, and I try to show up for them, and then some of them I don't know. And so I want you to know that, like, yesterday, like I said, I asked people if they would just, if 7 people would just subscribe to my YouTube channel so I could get it up to 1,000. And I had like 70 people do that. And that was really amazing. It made all the difference in the world. It kept me encouraged and going for another day. And sometimes that's the biggest thing you can do, especially in these times, is just encourage somebody and remind them to dream and remind them what they're capable of. And then do that for yourself too. So anyway, I was going to make this short, but it's not that short. But this is a year from now. I will be telling a different story, like I said, and I hope that's true for you too. I'm putting this out publicly because it motivates me to document the story, because I have risen from the ashes many, many times, and I failed to document it the way I wish I would have. And that's why I'm doing this now. But I also hope that this is inspiring you to do the same thing, to rise from whatever your fire is, whatever your ashes are, whatever your place is of difficulty or challenge or whatever, big or small. I don't think we should compare pain. I don't think we should compare trials, because pain is pain is pain is pain, and difficult is difficult is difficult is difficult. And so even if you feel like what you're going through right now is small, or maybe it's so big that you feel like nobody could ever understand, I hope that you will just remember that changing your thoughts, one of my personal mantras is to shift back to lucky. And what I mean by that is I decide to be lucky. I'm gonna be lucky today. And all that means is to look around and notice all the ways that I already am lucky. And we all are. We're all so fortunate. We're all so fortunate, even if things are hard. But the more I shift toward lucky, the luckier I get. The more beautiful things happen. And mostly it's stuff that happens on the inside. So that's what I wish for you today. And I'm just going to keep going. I'm in the middle of writing a book. I am starting my certification, my online certification, in a couple of weeks. And I'm in the middle of creating an online course for 50 Roads. I'm finishing the book 50 Roads. And thank you so much for all of you who are supporting that cause on Patreon. It helps massively. So anyway, it's fun. It's fun to start from scratch. It's fun to start at the bottom. It's fun to start in a hole, because when you get out of it, it's so triumphant. And that's really what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on what it's going to feel like on the other side of this. And that's helping me focus on what it feels like every day to just work hard toward it. So anyway, I love you guys. I love my life. I love all of our possibilities. I love our human family, and I love this day, and I hope you do too. Mwah.